All right, let's just dive right in. This whole conversation around AI and programming jobs, it's everywhere right now. It feels like the future is being written in real time. So, what's really going on? Is this the end of the road for developers, or is it something else entirely?
This is the question, isn't it? The one that's probably keeping a lot of you up at night. If an AI can write your code, well, what happens to your career?
You've seen this headline or something just like it 1,000 times in the last year. It's a message that screams disruption, and frankly, it's a message of fear that has just spread like wildfire all through the tech world.
But here's where it gets really interesting. That exact same headline, it's over a decade old. For this slide, I just swapped out AI for WordPress. And that right there proves a really crucial point. We have been here before. You see, this isn't the first time some new technology has promised to make developers obsolete. In fact, it's a cycle. It happens over and over. A new tool shows up, panic spreads, and then the industry just adapts. The big lesson from history is this. Powerful new tools don't actually get rid of developers. They just change what a developer does. They automate all the simple stuff, which then, funnily enough, creates demand for new, more advanced skills. So, to really understand where we're going with AI, we need to look back at how these other disruptions played out. In the story of platforms like WordPress and Wix, it's basically the perfect blueprint for what's happening now. Let's just walk through this timeline. It all starts in the early 2000s when WordPress drops, and all of a sudden, non-techie people can build their own websites. A few years later, platforms like Wix and Squarespace come along and make it even simpler. And now, here we are at the next giant leap, AI. So the WordPress effect, it was a really clear trade. Did it replace jobs? Oh, absolutely. The market for building those simple 5-page brochure websites, it basically vanished. But look at what it created. A brand new ecosystem for developers building custom themes, powerful plugins, and becoming highly paid WordPress consultants. And this wasn't some kind of fluke. The pattern repeated itself. Wix and Squarespace came along and automated a different slice of the market. Things like photographer portfolios or simple online stores. And just like before, this created a new demand for experts who could push these platforms way beyond their basic templates. Okay, I can hear you thinking, sure, but AI is different. This is not WordPress. And you know what? You're right. The scale and the power of AI, it's a fundamental leap forward, and we shouldn't just downplay that difference.
We're not just talking about building simple websites anymore. AI can generate complex application logic. It can write database queries. It can build entire functioning components just from a text prompt. The potential for automation here is on a completely different level.
So the real question is, what's getting automated now? It's not the brochure website anymore. It's the simple, small-scale application. A project that once might have cost a few $1,000s to hire a developer for can now be roughed out by a non-technical person using an AI tool. But just like before, as one set of tasks gets automated, a whole new set of opportunities emerges. The question starts to shift from, will I have a job, to what will my new job look like? And this is where we're already seeing new roles take shape. We're seeing the rise of the AI specialist. These are developers who master specific AI models, they're consultants who help integrate these tools, and they're the expert troubleshooters who get called in when the AI-generated code, inevitably breaks. Just think about it. It doesn't matter how simple a tool becomes, there's always going to be a group of people who just don't have the time, or the interest, or the confidence to use it themselves. And they will always pay an expert to guide them, or, let's be honest, just to do it for them. Which brings us to the most important part of this whole conversation. Because beyond just helping people use the tools, there are fundamental reasons why human expertise is actually becoming more valuable, not less. Let's make this really simple. Imagine your project manager, they're brilliant but totally non-technical, and they decide to build your company's new banking app using only an AI prompt. Are you comfortable with that? Of course not. And why you're not comfortable, that's the most important piece of this whole puzzle. See, a non-technical user, even with a powerful AI, they only see the tip of the iceberg. They can't spot the hidden security holes, or the inefficient code that's going to crash under pressure, or the unmaintainable mess that's going to cost a fortune to fix later. They just don't have the experience to tell a good idea from a technical dead end. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The idea of handing over mission-critical engineering to an AI, with the only oversight being someone who doesn't even understand the fundamentals, it's a recipe for disaster. And serious companies, they know this. So this brings us to the most important shift. A developer's value is moving away from the manual labor of typing code to the expert judgment of validating it. The most valuable skill is no longer writing the code. It's being the person who can look at what an AI produced and say, yes, this is secure, this is correct, or, more importantly, no, this is a disaster, and here's why.
Look, ultimately, this isn't a story about replacement. It's a story about evolution. AI is a powerful tool, maybe the most powerful tool developers have ever had. The fear is understandable, but the opportunity is immense. So the real question isn't whether your job will change, it's how you will change with it.